never stop at one. I'll take you all on.
At least I'll have the satisfaction of destroying you, Optimus Prime.
You can't remember my name.
The weak shall perish?
Do not believe everything you read.
Hello everyone, I'm Cyberverse Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Dark of the Moon Voyager Megatron, but this is the Takara Chronicles version. And I found this, I think, for about maybe both this and the G1 Megatron, which I do have. Just to show you that I do have the full set. I'm only reviewing the Megatron though from Dark of the Moon. I'm not reviewing the G1 Megatron because that one is kind of damaged. It's kind of loose, so I probably won't review it. But other than that, this was the only way you could get a slightly more movie accurate Megatron from Dark of the Moon, which was you had to buy the Chronicles 2-pack. And honestly, it's a pretty cool figure. This obviously doesn't come with this, but if you know, you know. I put this here because I mean, I forgot he didn't come with this. This is the Age of Extinction Evasion Mode Optimus Prime gun, and it's technically Dark of the Moon Megatron's shotgun. So yeah, I get it. This isn't this isn't the weapon that Megatron comes with. What actually he comes with is right here, but I'm gonna leave this off to the side for now. And Megatron here is a really cool Mack tanker truck, and I'm gonna be honest, I do prefer the Chronicles version over the original. And it's mainly because of the greenish color that he has. He looks more like he did in that one scene in Africa. And, you know, some people or actually, no, this is how he kind of looked in the Battle of Chicago. And that's basically the color scheme that I wanted. I wanted how he looked in the finale of the movie. And I'm not going to lie, this is great. I actually prefer this version of Dark of the Moon Megatron over the studio series, and there's actually some really cool reasons why. Number one, this thing can actually turn. The trailer can actually turn, which they didn't even have to include, which they did, and it can turn both ways to get some like turning poses. And that, to me, is just awesome. You don't really see that too often. Usually, the trailer is a separate piece of the figure, and you have to, you know, transform the cab, and then you transform the trailer. But they built it in, which is really cool. And then the other thing is, he's, I don't know. It's mainly the color scheme and the turning gimmick. I absolutely adore that. Plus, he has pinned wheels, and he's not hollow. He's definitely not hollow anywhere. This is actually a really good movie toy, in my opinion. As a size comparison, I have Shockwave here, which he is my next review. But that's pretty much it for size comparisons for alt mode. But to transform him, it's pretty... Unfortunately, there is parts forming involved, and that does kind of suck, but to be completely honest, it's cool. You take this, take his little cloth piece off, and then you remove this half of the canister of the trailer. Take that, put it off to the side here, and now you're left with this. And, you know, people, you know, complain online saying, oh, if you lose the MechTech weapon and the figure's no good anymore. I'm like, yes, that is a dumb design, but at the same time, how would it, in 2010/2011, how would have you designed, you know, a whole tanker trailer truck to transform together? How would you be able to do that? Because these become the legs, and this whole section here becomes his upper torso. This had to be somewhat of a parts thing. Regardless, it would have had to been removed. Yes, some people would argue, well, just, make him transform from the cab and then just have the trailer separate, like the Dark of the Moon Cyberverse figure. Facts. Totally get it. But honestly, for 2011, for a Voyager class Megatron, this was dope. I'm not gonna lie. I absolutely love this this figure of Megatron, and you're gonna see why. Also, the transformation is absolutely awesome on this guy. I love this transformation. So, what you do here is go ahead and flip the smokestacks up, get them out of the way. Come to this little panel here, untab that. Same thing over here, untab it. Then you're going to want to untab this section here and rotate that down. These will obviously become his hands. Then come back here and split the trailer down the middle. Down the middle. There you go. And then what you do after that is you take this whole section here and shift it down. Kind of like drop down ball joints on a Marvel Legends figure or an import figure, And then this piece, you're going to flip that up. That will create his crotch region. I know. Weird. And then these wheels, they're going to collapse on his back legs just like that. Then you're going to rotate his knees all the way around. You're going to take this piece here, shift it down. It's on a double hinge. That's going to thoop into place. That's going to thoop into place. And then this little tab is going to go into this groove. Yeah, that little tab right there where my nail is pointing at is going to go right in the slot. And that will create his foot. Same thing over here. Rotate the knee around. Shift down the rest of the leg. Fold the foot up, and then tab the heel into the foot. And there's Megatron's legs already done. Now, you want to be very careful with the rest of it. Go ahead and rotate the upper body 180 degrees. Then here is the tricky part. This is usually where a lot of people mess up. Be 100% careful. I believe the bulldog head is already snapped on mine. This was pre-owned, so it's not that big of a deal. But this part always frustrated me. You split the Mac grill, right? And that's what happens. Sorry about that. These ball joints this was the only issue that I had on this figure when it first came out. This was the only downside that I did not like about the figure. The ball joints on the grill absolutely suck ass. I do not like the ball joints on this figure or on these shoulder pads. Then you come here to, you basically split the hood in half, and it can be a pain in the ass. You have to shift the biceps forward, then you have to, I believe, oh my goodness, I am really messing this up. You spread it right there, and then you go ahead and collapse this whole section here. It's on a double, like quadruple hinge. Collapse this in. Oh, you gotta make sure his head is folded up. Collapse that on his back. Then you can go ahead and collapse this in. Oh, that leg is slightly higher than the other. Okay. Then go ahead, rotate his arms down, fold out the hand, rotate his arm at the bicep, fold out the hand. Take these and tab them into a little slot right there on his shoulder. Same thing over here. Rotate it at the ball joint and slot it in. Then you take this part here and split it to give him his chest. And that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, there is Megatron in his robot mode. And I'm going to be honest, this is how I wish he came in the first place. It really sucked at the time that the official original release of this figure is good, but this Chronicles version to me is just badass and beautiful. I absolutely love the paint scheme they gave him. To me, it looks more movie accurate. And it looks incredible in person and in camera. Or on camera, not in camera, Jesus. But this is such a beautiful figure. And like I said, the transformation I absolutely adore. It's a complex but yet fun transformation, at least for me. Yes, it is annoying about the parts here popping off. That's really the only part that I do not like about the transformation is the grill popping off. That's the only thing I don't like about the figure. Other than that, it's a really good figure. Before we give him his accessories and all that, let me go ahead and give him some posability, or discuss posability. He's got a swivel here at the shoulder. He's got a bicep swivel here at the bicep. He's got double jointed he's got it's kind of hard to tell where his elbow is. He's kind of double jointed in the elbow, and that's just due to transformation, which is still pretty cool. You can get him into some really creepy poses, and honestly, him having a double elbow really gets him into some dynamic poses, and it makes him look incredibly creepy and badass. Technically a waist rotation, but it's upper torso swivel, not really waist swivel. He's got soft, just regular universal joints here at the hip. He can go out that far forward. Actually, he can go forward about that far, but it's going out a little bit, so usually he can only go forward about that far, and he can go back pretty decently. He's got a knee joint there. It kind of looks double, but it's only a single. He can kick himself in his own back, and that's pretty much it for articulation. And I still like this thing. I regretted selling my original, but then when I found about this version, I wanted this one for a long time. And this thing is a beautiful figure. Still can't believe I own this thing. Anyway, to give him his accessories to make him look all Megatron-like from Dark of the Moon. If you don't like how he looks here and you want to cover his face, this is a rubber tab going into this groove here, right by his shoulder. And this here, I'm not gonna lie, this is where I think the Studio Series figure wins, because the cloak is actually fabric. This is rubber, and it's garbage. I do not like the rubber. I know they didn't have the idea of fabric at the time, but still, this makes the figure kind of look shitty. But I display it with them because this is the only... It's just childhood memories. That's all it really is. Now, there are two different weapons that you can give this guy. Shit. That doesn't want to go in. Alright. Alright. There we go. I think I got it now. Yeah. Alright. Oh, and also, sorry if my voice sounds a little bit different. I currently have the flu and it sucks. Yes, I'm taking medicine for it, and yes, I think after I get over this, I'm gonna go get my shot, my flu shot, because this shit sucks. So the cool thing about this weapon is you can fold out this little peg here. You can plug it on his arm. It kind of looks like his fusion cannon. Honestly, this looks like the prime fusion cannon. I'm not gonna lie. But the cooler thing is, if you push the ladder, it extends. And shit. What the hell? And then you turn it about that much, you can give them a bigger fusion cannon. And for a long time, this was everybody's Megatron in their movie collection because it was the closest thing that we got to a G1 style Megatron in movie form at the time. But in the movie, he did not have this. He had this. And people at the time, when they saw the movie, they were disappointed. G1 fans mainly, they were really disappointed that his fusion cannon was not present. And I agree. The toy did kind of make it to where, everyone thought, oh, he's going to finally have his fusion cannon in the movie. No, he didn't get it until the last night. And can't lie, that's my favorite movie Megatron design. Not my favorite movie, but my favorite design for movie Megatron. And honestly, can't wait for the Studio Series version of that. But anyway, what I do is I no longer display him like this. I used to as a kid, but what I do is I take this and plug it on his back. Just like that. Plugs on the roof of the truck. And then I take his shotgun, which is a little groove right there in the palm of his hand, and then there's a tab right here on the gun where the trigger actually is. And now he holds his proper weapon, and this was so cool at the time that the evasion mode Optimus flew off store shelves because of the gun and because of how good the figure is. The figure and the weapon, the fact that it has, the fact that you can actually give this Megatron in Age of Extinction like a 2014 weapon, this was badass. Can't deny that. So that is my review of Transformers Dark of the Moon Chronicles Megatron. And for size comparison for robot mode, here he is with the Takara movie Optimus here's the Takara MechTech trailer Optimus Prime. And can't deny, these two do look great together. I know a lot of people pose this Megatron with the Battle Blades Optimus, but since these are both from Dark of the Moon and they're both from Takara, I figured I'd put these two together, and these guys are really cool. So, yep, there's Optimus. And then for a final comparison, just for the hell of it, here he is with Bumblebee, just to put something out there. I would compare him to the Studio Series, but I'm not doing that until I review the Studio Series. So, yep, that is my Dark of the Moon Megatron review. I hope you guys enjoyed this video review. And please stay tuned for more. Obviously, I'm doing Shockwave next. And I got some other Dark of the Moon figures that I haven't reviewed yet. I'm also currently trying to get some other Dark of the Moon figures from the original toy line. I'm not going to reveal who they are just yet, but one of them is Air Raid from the original Dark of the Moon line, the American release, not the Takara one. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for Shockwave. All right, see you guys later.